Joe, it's that time of year.
Wolfson football,
It's always emotional for me. The Wolfden, my alma mater. Greg Meyer, the head coach of the Wolfson Wolfpack. Coach, how we doing?
Doing really well. Doing well, thank you.
Coach, appreciate you coming on with us. And I got to tell you, I hear good things from people that are in the know. Wolfson coming off a couple of years, not so good, but I've heard that you guys are one of the teams people might be looking out for this year.
Wonderful. Well, that's good news. That's also bad news. We prefer to sneak up on them. But no, yeah, things are looking really strong at Wolfson right now. We've got a strong nucleus of young players who had to, start at an early age, and now we're really starting to reap the benefits from that. I mean, those kids have got some experience, and they're doing really well.
What type of numbers do you guys have in terms of off-season workouts, getting ready to go back and start smashing helmets here?
Yeah, we've got, in the off-season, we've had a steady cast of about 50 that have been coming out to work out and run, and right now we have 85 kids out in practice.
Coach Greg Meyer here with us of the Wolfson Wolfpack. And Coach, I ask you this every year, but it's a question that needs to be asked. Wolfson back in the day, meaning 10, 15 years ago, was one of the better teams in this area. Pre-hacker, yes. Was one of the better teams in this area. In the late 90s, they were in the playoffs every once in a while, but have fallen under hard times here recently. You guys appear to be coming out of that now. Two questions for you. Number one, why do you think those hard times happened? And number two, why do you think you're now beginning to come out of them?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to speak to why they've happened to be in that. I'm coming into my third year now, but from what I've learned from the players and the community around us is that, football necessarily wasn't as big of a priority for Wolfson as a whole. We've had excellent programs like our track program, basketball and baseball have all done very well. But football, obviously, just kind of lagged behind there for an extended period of time, and I think it just kind of perpetuated itself, unfortunately. Now, as far as what we've done to turn it around, re-energizing the community, getting everybody fired up about it. We last year we went 2-8, but we had a lot of kids who had a lot of fun. We had great attendance at the games, and we fought hard. There were a lot of those games that we lost that were pretty close. So, we're giving them something to watch. I think that's a big part of why we're turning around, and that energy feeds the kids and how hard they work every day. So it's just kind of a nice, healthy cycle there.
Trying to build on that is the key. We're talking to Greg Meyer, head coach of the Wolfson Wolfpack, and building on that's going to be a little tough when you go Reball, Sandalwood, White, St. Augustine. You kind of got to get that mindset right for the kids that they're going to have to get right into it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we had a great showing in the spring, and the kids had a little bit of a taste of success. What we're trying to do right now is the key thing for this group, who obviously doesn't know how to win a whole lot, is to stay humble. To stay humble and to keep working hard. And okay, that was nice and wonderful that we won, but understanding the measure of the task that we have that you just mentioned. Reball, Sandalwood, Ed White, St. Aug at the beginning of your schedule, that's tough. Those are all very good teams. That said, our kids are not intimidated, and we're ready to take on anybody in this town. We feel like we prepared as well as anybody, and we've got some talent, so we're excited.
Greg Meyer of Wolfson. Coach, as an alum, I was disappointed the last 2 years that Inglewood was not on the schedule. Inglewood Wolfson was one of those. That's huge. Now, that's the Comcast game of the week.
Awesome.
That's my alma mater against Frangie's alma mater. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun with that.
Very cool.
Just talk about getting Inglewood back on the Wolfson schedule.
Oh, it's huge, man. You got to have those rivalry games to generate and that excitement within the fan base. Inside the school, outside of the school. Like for you as an alum, that's one of those games that everybody remembers. And I have no answer as to why this wasn't on the schedule. I'm just thrilled that I see him for the next 2 years on our schedule. Now in our district, it's not just a novelty game. Now it means something. We got to go through each other to get to the playoffs, and now that I don't think you needed that much more emotion for Wolfson Inglewood, but a little bit extra doesn't hurt. But no, we're excited. We're thrilled to have him.
Some of the playmakers that you guys will have on both sides of the ball, guys that we should be aware of, Lexus Walton, your leading rusher, some of the other guys to point out? Yeah,
Lexus Walton is going to have a heck of a year. He played quarterback for us last year. We're moving him to tailback this year. We've got Jasper Sasser, who's a two-way star. Both of those young men are going to be juniors this year. They both have Division I offers already. They're doing some really good things on the camp circuit and stuff like that. On the offensive and defensive line, I've got a great group of seniors up front with Byron Reese, AJ Force, and Zach Six. On the defensive line, led by Jordan Hawkins and Lonnie Jones. Those two kids are going to just wreak havoc all year. So, we're pretty excited, man. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Greg Meyer here with us, coach of the Wolfson Wolfpack. Coach, as we begin to wrap things up here with you, I was a Mandarin kid.
Okay.
Went to Mandarin Middle, 7th and 8th grade, and I lived about a mile away from the Mandarin High district and went to Wolfson.
Nice.
So Wolfson Mandarin has always been important to me as well.
Yeah.
Now, what's the reasoning that they're not on the schedule?
Honestly, this year we had minimal input on the schedule being made, and that was a game that we were really hoping we'd get. It was a very close game this past year. I think we lost by, 10 points.
Yeah,
and they
close
scored late.
Right.
And we went back and forth. We had a huge crowd. It was a great gate for us and everything. So we were really hoping to get that one, especially with the financial situation being what it is. We thought there'd be a little bit more attention paid to the earning opportunities out there. But I understand that the schedule's tough to put together, and that said, we're happy to play everybody that we have, and we're good to go. But no, I would love to play Mandarin again, without a doubt. Have
you guys had to tighten the belt or look at budget? Is there any concern? I mean, have they said, you know what, lower tier sports, if that's the right phrasing, were in jeopardy? What about football, baseball, et cetera?
Football, and football is self-sufficient. We generate enough money to cover our costs for the most part. And when I say we, I mean the football community statewide. There's obviously some varying degrees in there. That said, I think money's going to be fine. I think for the lower tier sports, and I hate to use that term because I coach some of those sports as well. But those kids have really put a lot of effort into fundraising, so the community's responded well. I mean, it's unfortunate that we've had to go to those links to get the money together to save those things, but I'm excited to see that it's important enough to everybody else to come together and really back that.
Greg Meyer of the Wolfson Wolfpack. Coach, I often say the Wolfden, where nobody comes out alive.
Precisely.
So let's try to get that back.
Absolutely.
Coach, thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.